liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis.
In a remarkable stroke of luck for NASA, the shuttle blasted off against the odds from the Kennedy Space Center. Weather forecasts had put the chance of bad weather scrubbing the launch at 70% just hours before liftoff. Earlier, NASA managed successfully to fuel the shuttle without a repeat of the fuel gauge or eco-sensor problems that have delayed the launch of Atlantis since December. Launch Director Doug Lyons says it came as a relief.
As we were loading the tank about an hour in, we were able to check out our ecosystem, and it performed flawlessly, which we expected, but we're still very happy to see.
NASA now has to make sure the shuttle reached orbit safely, checking for damage caused during ascent. It must also install the $2 billion high-tech European laboratory Columbus, which has been 23 years in the making. NASA Administrator Mike Griffin says it's a major step forward.
No launch can be any more momentous than the launch of Columbus, which brings to the space station truly international capability and participation. It shows visibly and in actuality that this is a real partnership among nations and among societies to bring together a capability greater than any one nation could bring by itself.
Columbus will be joined by the much bigger Japanese lab Kibo later this year, which will require 3 shuttle flights to get off the ground, beginning in March.
NASA will fill the space.
Veteran space reporter Pat Duggins says NASA hopes the delay to the launch of this Atlantis mission will not set back the completion of the International Space Station.
And they think that they can do it probably by maybe the spring of 2010, and then have maybe a couple of contingency missions in their hip pocket where they could take up supplies or replacement parts or whatever, and then after that the space shuttle would go away.
Meanwhile, NASA wants to launch a total of 6 shuttle missions this year alone. So NASA needed some luck to launch the Space Shuttle Atlantis on what was a cloudy day here at the Kennedy Space Center, but it'll require more than luck if it's to finish the International Space Station by 2010, when the shuttle fleet is set to be decommissioned. Steve Moore, Channel News Asia, Cape Canaveral.